Got a bunch of old hammers. Cut them into little wedges.
And you soak them in your solution.
Dip them in some wallpaper paste and then stuck them in like that for about 20 minutes. Yeah. I did them with my hands. I didn't even need tweezers or anything. I just like rub my thumb on it and they just come right off.
The next thing that you need to know is how to put bushings back in. Once your mortise is prepared and you've adjusted and figured out what size of bushing cloth you need, but you take the caul that matches your key pin and you try to insert it with...
You need a bigger key?
No, you need a thinner cloth.
Thinner cloth. Instead of a smaller caul, get a bigger key.
You need to have the caul that matches your pin.
Yeah.
And then you determine the thickness of the cloth with the caul. And you need to have it so that when you put it in there, you can shake it off.
How do you figure out the size that matches your pin?
You measure with a micrometer.
Okay, so you actually use a micrometer.
Yeah. And then this is a 147, which is a pretty standard and common size for American-made pianos. There is a key bushing field kit with spurlock cauls that are all different sizes, and I'm not sure I've ever seen all of these different size key pins, but they go from 0.125 thousandths to 162. Some of them I have, but not all of them. But anyway, but you can't count on a key pin being a certain size, so you have to be prepared for anything. But that's the way you would choose your size of cloth, is to measure the pin, find the right size caul, and then insert it in the dry cloth and be able to shake the key off. You don't want it to fall off, and you don't want it so tight that you can't shake it off. If you're rebushing a whole set of keys, I recommend the spurlock caul method, where he goes through and he does one side with a midway caul, and he does the whole set, and it's hot glue. And then you go back and do the other side and put in the smaller caul to match the key pin, and it's really quick and efficient. And he demonstrated that at some class that I went to years ago, and he had a whole set bushed in 30 minutes or something like that. It was amazing. But if you are just doing one, as you will on the exam, or if you come across one in a home that the bushing is missing and you just need to do one, you don't want to wait for your hot glue to warm up. I recommend then, in that case, using single metal ones, and you would do it all at the same time. When you get it glued in there, you can heat your caul with a lighter of some kind, and that irons the bushing to the caul, and the fit is real quick when you're ready with the glue dry. So for just one key at a time, I recommend the metal ones. If you're doing a whole set, I'd go with the plastic ones. But as far as other things you need to know, there's not a 100% agreement amongst piano technicians on the depth of the bushing cloth, but there is an expectation on the exam, and the given in the source book is target 3/16 of an inch, which is a little less than a quarter, a little more than an eighth. But you do have a leeway with almost everything in the exam. And what I tell people, when you have a key like this that has a little window, you should be able to see the bottom of the bushing felt, but you shouldn't cover the whole window. If you happen to have a key that doesn't have a window, you want the depth to be the same as the window. And I made a little gauge which helps with that, so you can kind of figure out how deep to put it. But
you make that out of a hammer?
It's a hammer shank, and you just chisel it away, and you
made a
depth gauge. You can reach inside to see. You'd mark your 3/16 and then a little bit on either side, and grab the bottom of the felt to see if you can see one line. You're good. If you can see two lines, not deep enough. If you can't see either line, It's too deep. And one of the most common issues is to get it too deep because it's real easy to push it too deeply in when you're inserting the caul if you're not holding real tightly onto the bushing cloth. It's easy to get it too deep. When I took a key class from Anne Gree and the piano tech guy, they were doing the pro felt.
Brand new car.
Yeah, and they were recommending bushing depth of 1/8, just bare, because this is for a race track piano, high performance, and you want the least amount of friction. However, for an ordinary home piano, you want it a little deeper. So I say they don't all agree on everything.